What's up? What's up? What the?
Take my hand!
Ah!
Come on!
No, give me your other hand!
Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough! Lord, I'm having a heart attack! Sam, this is some scary shit! Oh, I am scared!
Well, maybe she won't see me.
Brenda!
Oh, she stole me.
The year 2000 changed comedy forever. While Hollywood was busy taking itself way too seriously, the Wayans brothers walked in with a script, a middle finger to the rules, and a mission to tear down every horror cliche in existence. What started as a risky R-rated gamble turned into a cultural phenomenon that redefined parody films and made the Wayans family comedy royalty. But here's what most people don't know. Behind those outrageous scenes and iconic one-liners was a story of creative genius, studio battles, and moments so wild they almost didn't make it to screen. Before we count down the most chaotic and unforgettable moments from the Scary Movie franchise, let me tell you something. These weren't just random gags thrown together. Each scene was calculated chaos, designed to push boundaries while secretly being smarter than anyone gave them credit for. The Wayans brothers created a legacy that's still influencing comedy today, and some of these moments became bigger than the movies themselves. Ready to relive the madness? Let's dive into the top 11 most iconic, controversial, and absolutely unhinged moments that made Scary Movie a legend.
It could have been that crack I smoked earlier, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Let's start where most comedy movies wouldn't dare to go, the darkest corner of absurd humor. In the first Scary Movie, Cindy Campbell's father wasn't your typical concerned parent. When Cindy screams in terror, any normal dad would rush to help. But not this guy.
Bobby, what are you doing? My dad's in the other room.
It just occurred to me I never climbed through your window.
He dismisses her blood-curdling scream as just another hallucination from...
It could have been that crack I smoked earlier, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
The scene gets even more uncomfortable when he casually offers Cindy a little something in the coffee can before she heads out.
Oh, you are my little girl. I love you so much that I left you a little something in the coffee can.
This wasn't just shock value for laughs. The Wayans were making a statement about how desensitized society has become, wrapping social commentary in the most inappropriate packaging possible. Critics called it tasteless, fans called it genius, and honestly, that's exactly what the Wayans wanted. They knew that comedy without risk is just noise, and this moment proved they weren't playing it safe. But wait until you see what comes next, because that was just the warm-up. Fast forward to Scary Movie 3, and the franchise took an unexpected turn. In a parody of M. Night Shyamalan's Signs, the family prepares for an alien invasion. The tension builds, the music swells, and then an alien appears behind the barn. Except it's not just any alien, it's Michael Jackson. Instead of attacking, the king of pop challenges the family to a dance battle. What follows is pure absurdity. Signature moves, moonwalks, and a scene that somehow worked despite being completely ridiculous. Released in 2003, this was during a complicated time for Jackson's public image, and the Wayans managed to walk a tightrope between parody and respect. The scene features choreography that actually required professional dancers and cost a significant portion of the film's budget. David Zucker,
I think there is a bit of, a little bit that we're outsiders.
Who directed Scary Movie 3 after the Wayans moved on from directing duties, later revealed in interviews that this scene took over 2 days to film and required multiple takes to get the timing just right. But here's where it gets interesting. This was also a sign of the franchise's evolution under new creative direction.
I'm Father McFeely.
I'm so glad you're here.
I came as fast as I could. Let us pray.
Our Father, who art in heaven.
Scary Movie 2 opened with one of the boldest parodies in the entire franchise. The cold open directly mocked The Exorcist, with a demon-possessed Megan played by Natasha Lyonne. Two priests, including one played by James Woods, attempt an exorcism that goes spectacularly wrong. What starts as a faithful recreation of the classic horror scene quickly devolves into chaos. The priest's attempts at persuasion fail miserably, leading to an escalating war of insults that would make even the most hardened horror fans blush. The demon isn't scared of holy water or religious authority. Instead, she's hurling insults and bodily fluids with equal enthusiasm. The Wayans shot this opening in July 2000, and it became instantly controversial. Religious groups protested. The MPAA threatened a harsher rating, but Dimension Films stood behind the Wayans, knowing they had comedy gold. The scene was so effective at setting the tone that it became the template for how sequels should open. Bigger, bolder, and completely unhinged. And speaking of unhinged, number 8 is where things got truly legendary.
Someone done going crazy, son!
We all go a little crazy sometimes.
Bobby, no!
Marlon Wayans as Shorty wasn't just a character. He was a walking, talking middle finger to every anti-drug PSA ever made. In the first film's climax, Bobby shoots Shorty in the chest, delivering the iconic Psycho line, "We all go a little crazy sometimes." Any normal person would be concerned about the gaping gunshot wound. Shorty? His only priority is making sure Cindy takes a hit from his weed, with smoke literally rising from his chest cavity.
Cindy, they shot me in the lungs. You wanna hit this?
The visual gag was simple but perfect, and Marlon's commitment to the bit made it unforgettable. Behind the scenes, this moment required extensive special effects work. The prosthetic chest piece had to allow smoke to filter through, while looking realistic enough for the joke to land. It took the makeup department 4 hours each day to prepare Marlon for these scenes. But here's the real story. Shorty became so popular that Marlon Wayans later admitted in a 2019 interview that fans still quote this scene to him on the street nearly 2 decades later. The character was originally supposed to die in the first film, but his popularity saved him for the sequel.
Well, Shorty was based on a friend of mine who was a weed head named Shorty.
I got papers, blunts, bongs.
The madness continues, but nothing quite prepares audiences for what was coming at number 7.
Hi, Gail Hailstorm. Field reporter, hard story?
Special Officer Doofy.
The first Scary Movie's ending was a masterclass in subverting expectations. Throughout the entire film, Officer Doofy seemed like nothing more than comic relief. A mentally challenged deputy obsessed with vacuuming and completely oblivious to everything happening around him.
Yeah.
Then came the twist. In the final moments, Doofy reveals he was the real killer all along.
It's me, Sind. Night, Sind.
He drops the act, sheds his fake disability like a jacket, and drives off with Gail Hailstorm in a van packed with weapons. The scene brilliantly parodied The Usual Suspects while creating its own memorable moment. Dave Sheridan, who played Doofy, revealed in a 2015 interview that keeping the twist secret was nearly impossible during filming. The production shot multiple endings to prevent leaks, and even some cast members didn't know the real ending until they saw the finished film. This twist also sparked controversy. Disability advocacy groups criticized the film for making light of mental disabilities, while the Wayans defended it as satire of horror movie tropes. The debate raged, but audiences didn't care. They loved it. Get ready, because number 6 is where the franchise said goodbye to subtlety forever.
Ketchup.
just like my mom puts on her spaghetti, baby.
Oh my God, Ray, you gotta help me. Bobby's gone crazy.
In the first film's final act, Bobby and Ray confessed to being the killers. The reveal itself wasn't shocking. We expected that from the Scream parody. What nobody saw coming was their motive. Their confession quickly devolves into a lover's quarrel. They're not just killers, they're a gay couple who've been secretly dating, and they're more concerned with their relationship drama than the murders they committed.
That's right, Cindy. I'm gay. And in case you haven't noticed, so is Ray.
What? I ain't gay.
The argument escalates hilariously, with accusations of cheating and forgotten anniversaries.
How about this for a motive? Lack of sex. It can cause serious deviant behavior.
I thought you loved me.
John Abrams and Marlon Wayans played the scene with perfect comedic timing, and it became one of the franchise's most quoted moments. But it also sparked important conversations about LGBTQ+ representation in comedy, even if those conversations were messy. Released in July 2000, this was before marriage equality, before mainstream acceptance, and the scene walked a controversial line. Some praised it for normalizing gay relationships in mainstream comedy. Others criticized it for stereotyping. The Wayans later explained they were parodying the shock value revealed in 90s thrillers, while simultaneously making a statement about closeted relationships. Whatever your take, this moment proved the Wayans weren't afraid to tackle any subject.
Lord, I'm having a heart attack. Damn, this is some scurry.
But we're just getting to the really iconic stuff now. Regina Hall's Brenda Meeks wasn't just a character, she was a cultural reset. The movie theater scene in Scary Movie is comedy perfection. During a packed screening of Shakespeare in Love, Brenda repeatedly screams at the screen, disrupting everyone around her. But she doesn't stop there. She argues with annoyed audience members.
Excuse me?
I think I paid my money like everybody else up in here.
Takes a phone call in the middle of the movie.
You ain't know that.
Hello?
Hey, girl, I'm in the movie.
Starts filming people.
Yeah, I got you. I got you on camera. You on candid camera now.
And remains completely oblivious to the actual killer sitting right next to her.
Hold on. I don't know why y'all is acting like this. My girlfriend already seen the movie. She said they don't even stay together in the end.
When the killer finally stabs her, even that doesn't shut her up immediately.
Right on. You sit down?
Oh!
What makes this scene genius is how it captured a real frustration. That one person who ruins the movie experience for everyone. The Wayans took that universal annoyance and amplified it to absurd levels. Regina Hall later said this was one of her favorite scenes to film because it let her go completely over the top. The theater scene was shot at a real cinema in Los Angeles, and the production had to work around the venue's schedule. They filmed from midnight to 6 in the morning over 3 consecutive nights in March 2000.
I think the biggest treat for me was to work with, the Wayans, yes, but even more specifically, Keenan. I auditioned 5 times, so I had auditioned quite a bit. Maybe it was my 3rd or 4th audition I finally got to audition for Keenan. Even if I didn't get it, the fact that I got to audition for Keenan, and I just remember he was like, Regina, you're funny. Being able to work with him, I felt like I learned so much from working with Keenan. The first thing he told me and Anna was that there's no vanity in comedy. Keenan, I will say, he said, don't bother her, just let her do whatever, scene to scene. And so all this kind of out of my face and candid camera, that was all ad-lib. And so he just was like, don't. And the Shakespeare, because I was like, I know Brenda's never seen Shakespeare.
And here's the kicker. This scene almost got cut. Test audiences initially found it too long. But the Wayans fought to keep it, knowing it would become iconic. They were right. Hold on to your seats, because number 4 is where physics stop making sense. The climax of Scary Movie featured one of the most elaborate parodies in the entire franchise. Cindy Campbell fights the killer in a sequence that hilariously mimics the Matrix physics-defying combat. bullet time slow motion, impossible aerial moves, and completely exaggerated martial arts created a scene that was both a technical achievement and comedic gold. The fight choreography required weeks of rehearsal. Anna Faris, who played Cindy, had to train with professional stunt coordinators to nail the movements. The production used wire work, green screens, and extensive post-production effects that were cutting edge for a comedy film in 2000. But here's what makes this scene special. It came out just 1 year after The Matrix revolutionized action cinema. The Wayans were parodying something that was still culturally relevant and fresh in everyone's minds. That timing was crucial to the joke's success. The scene cost over $2 million to produce, a massive chunk of the film's $19 million budget. Studio executives worried it was too expensive for a comedy, but the Wayans insisted. When the film grossed over $278 million worldwide, those executives stopped complaining. Anna Faris later admitted in interviews that filming this sequence was the most physically demanding work she'd ever done, requiring multiple takes and leaving her sore for days. We're in the top 3 now, and things are about to get really iconic.
Gonna fall unless you take my hand.
No!
Scary Movie 2 gave us one of the most quoted moments in parody film history. Professor Oldman's caretaker Hanson, portrayed by Chris Elliott, reveals his shriveled, strong hand in a scene that's equal parts disturbing and hilarious. The setup is simple. Hanson tries to serve dinner, but his hand is grotesquely small and weak.
They did a lot. They did an eye job, I got a nose job, a facelift, I had breast reduction, and...
In another famous scene, the college assistant Dwight Hartman is hanging from a 3rd-floor window of the haunted mansion, and the deformed butler Hanson tries to save him.
Take my hand! Ah! Come on!
Chris Elliott wore a prosthetic for the hand, which took hours to apply each day. The makeup team created multiple versions to ensure it looked consistently disturbing throughout filming. Elliott later revealed he couldn't feel anything in that hand while wearing the prosthetic, making the physical comedy even more challenging to perform.
If the arm didn't look perfect, they would send me home for the day and make the special effects guys work on it.
This scene became a meme before memes were even a mainstream thing. Fans quoted it endlessly, created parody videos, and it lived on in internet culture long after the movie left theaters. Released in July 2001, Scary Movie 2 didn't match the first film's box office success, but this scene alone justified its existence. The Wayans originally wrote an even more extreme version, but the MPAA forced them to dial it back to avoid an NC-17 rating. Even in its toned-down form, it's pure chaos. But we're about to hit the moments that transcended the movies themselves.
Hello?
Wanna have a little fun?
Who is this?
Tell me your name and I'll tell you mine.
I don't think so.
The film's opening scene set the standard for everything that followed. Carmen Electra plays Drew Becker in a shot-for-shot parody of Scream's iconic opening. The phone call, the questions about scary movies, the mounting tension, it's all there. Then the Wayans cranked the absurdity to 11. Drew's death involves a series of increasingly ridiculous attacks. She runs into a sprinkler, gets hit by a car driven by her father who doesn't notice, and finally meets her end in the most over-the-top way possible. Her silicone breast implant even pops out. This scene was crucial because it immediately told audiences what they were in for. No sacred cows, no boundaries, just pure comedic chaos. Carmen Electra later said she knew this role would define her career in ways she didn't expect, and she was right.
Now I know that he thought it was really funny and told me he was proud of me, and that means the world to me.
Filming took place in February 2000, and the production had to coordinate multiple departments for the complex death sequence. The breast implant gag alone required several takes and precise timing to execute properly. But here's the real story. Dimension Films originally wanted to cut this opening for being too controversial. The Wayans threatened to walk away from the entire project. The studio backed down and cinema history was made. And now, the moment that became bigger than the movie itself.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Nothing, and I mean nothing, comes close to the cultural impact of the What's Up scene. Shorty and his friends answer the phone while the killer is on the line. But instead of fear, they greet each other with the ridiculous What's Up.
Yo, pick up the phone. What's up? What's up?
The catchphrase from the Budweiser commercial that was everywhere in 2000. The scene is simple. Characters repeatedly screaming "What's up" at each other while hanging out and doing mundane activities.
Hello, Shorty. What are you doing?
Nothing. Sitting here watching the game, smoking some bud.
But the execution was perfect. The timing, the commitment, the absurdity of using a beer commercial catchphrase while a serial killer is on the phone. It all worked. This wasn't just a scene. It became a phenomenon. People quoted it everywhere. It showed up in other TV shows and movies. The What's Up greeting became part of the cultural lexicon, and the Wayans brothers solidified their place in comedy history.
Yo.
What's up?
Marlon Wayans later revealed that they almost cut this scene because they worried it would date the movie too quickly. Instead, it became timeless because it captured a specific moment in pop culture so perfectly that it transcended its own time period. The scene required minimal setup, just a phone, some friends, and perfect comedic timing. But its impact was massive. When Scary Movie opened on July 7, 2000, this scene became the one everyone talked about. It proved that the Wayans understood something fundamental. The best comedy comes from recognizing what's already in the culture and flipping it on its head.